Get your foot off the gas!
Get your foot off the gas, you're getting tased.
I'm trying to fix the car.
No, stop!
Get her out of here!
Stop!
No, please don't open that car on me, sir. Please, I'm scared of guns. Wait, you scraping my
Get out of the car! Get out of the fucking car!
I am!
Get out of the car right now! Get out!
Yeah!
I think she took the pole.
My foot is...
Hey, your friend's almost dead. Your friend is almost dead right now.
On a chilly spring afternoon, Lake County Police respond to an ongoing robbery at a nearby store in Mattawa, Illinois. What begins as a calculated theft for the thieves quickly unfolds into a case that no one anticipates. As the masked suspects make their getaway, they're unaware that one of them will soon be fighting for their life. The following is based on official police records. On March 6, 2023, dispatch officers are notified about 3 women trying to flee a store after shoplifting in a gray Kia Optima. Officer Fink is the first to arrive and spots the suspects driving straight towards his patrol vehicle. As he attempts to stop them, they speed past him without hesitation.
Just tried to go head on with me, and now they're taking off down 60, so I will terminate.
Yeah, sure.
They're eastbound 60, stuck at the red light at 21, and they're making it through, and they are continuing eastbound, but I am not following.
323, everybody. Yeah, you took off, no one else go after.
Roughly 2 minutes later, the dispatch advises that a crash has occurred, and the vehicle involved is believed to belong to the Shoplifters. Officer Hill immediately takes off towards the crash site, but is met with a heavily congested roadway. Knowing time is not on his side, he requests additional officers for backup. As officers rush towards the scene, none of them are prepared for the nightmare they're about to drive into.
Where'd the car go that hit you? Over there, there it is.
The car collided with a truck and was sent off the road into a wooden fence, narrowly missing the telephone and the traffic light pole. As Officer Hill relays this information to dispatch, he observes that the car has sustained heavy damage, casting doubt on anyone's survival. Just as more officers are showing up, Officer Hill notices some movement in the back of the car.
Do not get out of the vehicle! Your hands up! Stay in the car! Stay where you are! Do not even try to get out of the car! 323, we've got, it looks like all 3 occupants still in the vehicle. Airbags have gone off. The car's damaged pretty bad. Doors are unable to be opened, so I think we just got to get all 3 out of the car.
As Officers Fink and Kohler line up behind the vehicle, awaiting further instructions, they're unaware that the situation is about to become more dangerous.
Get your foot off the gas! Hey, they're putting it in reverse.
They're putting in reverse. Get your foot off the gas!
Put the car in park! Police officers, put the car in park!
Stay in your car!
They're trying to take off.
Officers soon discover that the driver is still conscious and actively trying to maneuver the vehicle out of the wreckage.
Put the car in park! Get your hands up in the car! In the gray Kia, get your hands up! Dan, what do you want us to do?
Well, then that's not what we can do right now. We're not going to approach the car.
Despite law enforcement's persistent commands, the driver continues to reverse the vehicle.
Take my spot.
Who's got a shield?
I do!
As Officer Loss runs to grab her shield, it's still unknown whether the suspects are armed in any way. Earlier that day, 25-year-old Jariah Terrell, along with 26-year-olds Kanaya Williams and Brittany Christmas, entered the Ulta beauty store in masks. The women were in and out of the store in less than a minute, yet managed to make off with thousands of dollars in merchandise. Back at the scene, while officers know that they're the shoplifters, they're still unaware of their identities. As Officer Loss returns with the shield, Officer Hill takes charge, knowing the next move could be the difference between the safety of his officers or a complete disaster.
Hey, let's go over to the street. Let's go over in the street.
Dan, let's go to that side so we can get the driver.
We can't get the door. You can't go. You can't open that door.
Okay.
That door is completely fucked.
We gotta go through the passenger side.
Who's less lethal?
Hey, back up! I got less lethal.
Who is less lethal?
I got less lethal.
You're gonna go hands on with them.
I will go hands on. Okay.
Got it?
Yep.
Hands on.
We are ready to move.
Stay to the side. Stay to the side. Because they're not going to go sideways.
Get your hands up!
Hands up!
Police officers, get your hands up!
Hands up!
Police officers, get your hands up now!
Passenger!
The back passenger's door, hands out the back window. Back passenger. I'll do the talking. Back passenger, keep your hands where I can see them.
Put your hands up.
Get out of the car right now. You get out of the car right now.
Kanaya can be seen opening the door to respond to the officers, but shuts it again quickly. She then moves to the opposite side and begins to talk with Officer Watson.
Stay right there. Don't move. Okay, don't move.
Get out.
Stay right there. You stay right there. Right there.
See my hands?
I see your hands.
See my hands?
Stay right there until you're told to do so. Until you're told to do otherwise.
Huh?
Stay right there.
Don't shoot me.
Stay right there.
Don't shoot me.
Nobody's going to shoot you. Just keep your hands up.
In a shocking discovery, Officer Hill finds Brittany to be motionless in her seat, a chilling realization that she may be seriously injured.
In the front passenger seat, are you injured? Are you injured? We're not going to shoot anybody. We need to know if you guys need help.
I don't know if she can get out, Dan.
With no response from Brittany, the situation quickly escalates into a medical emergency.
Okay, let's do this. Let's get up.
Get the back one?
Let's be lethal on this side for me.
9102, we'll put you at least 2 or 3.
You go ahead. You go ahead and watch the open door.
10-4.
Do we have a sec? I don't think we have a second. Keep coming up. Keep coming left.
Stop! Get your foot off the grass!
I'm not pulling out.
You!
Turbo!
Get over here now. Get to me. Get to me right now.
I will. Please don't shoot me. I'm scared. I don't trust you.
Get over here.
Well, I don't trust you not to run me
I'm not
over.
trying to run.
If you run my foot over, I'm going to shoot you.
No, please don't open that car on me, sir. Please, I'm scared of guns. Wait, you scraping my
Get
car?
out of the car.
I was getting out. Wait, don't shoot me. Please don't shoot me. I'm scared of guns. I don't care about it.
Yeah. I got it. Get back up there, Dan.
You get your foot off the gas or I'm going to tase you.
Get your foot off the gas.
Get your foot off the gas or I'm going to tase you. Get your foot off.
Get your foot off the gas pedal now!
If you get your foot off the gas, you're getting tased.
I'm trying to fix the car.
No, stop.
Get her out of here.
Stop. Get your hands up now. You put the car in, you put your foot on the gas again, you're getting tased. Get your foot off the car.
It's not on the car. I'm trying to get.
Don't move the gear. Shut the car off now. With the key, shut the car off. Shut it off.
Even with both passengers out of the car, the driver, Jariah, still refuses to cooperate with the officer's commands. Meanwhile, Brittany appears to have sustained a severe injury to her head, making officers question if she's going to make it. Time is ticking, and the officers need to find a way to safely remove Jariah from the vehicle before the situation gets worse. The officers know they're running out of options, and with tensions rising, their patience wears thin.
Take the key out.
I don't know how.
Get out of the driver's door.
Not letting me,
Open
sir.
it.
I
Then
don't know
crawl
how.
across to me now.
I'm trying. I don't know.
Turn the car off.
It's not letting me. Turn it off.
Turn the fucking car off now.
It's not fucking letting
Turn
me.
the car off.
I'm trying.
Right,
sir.
taser.
Oh, what the fuck? I'm trying to help you guys. What the fuck?
Get her out.
Get out of the fucking car.
I am.
Get out of the car right now. Get out.
Yeah. What the fuck? Yeah. Why y'all? I'm trying to put the car on board.
You weren't doing anything.
Yes, I was.
Finally, all of the passengers have been removed from the vehicle and detained. Their identities are still a mystery to the officers, and things aren't looking too good for Brittany.
I think she took the pole.
I don't know if she's breathing.
Can you hear me?
No.
No. Come on.
Officer James escorts Kanaya to a patrol vehicle, and what she says draws a grim picture about her priorities in the midst of this incident.
They shoot?
No.
They
They
shoot?
tased her.
They shot her.
She got tased.
They shot that girl.
That was a
They
taser.
shot her.
That was a
Can you get my stuff
taser.
out that car, please? Excuse me, sir.
What's your name?
My
Anaya.
Anaya.
Listen to me.
I hear you.
Listen to me. I got a lot of stuff going on right now, okay? I'm putting you in here. All right? We'll get you out of here in just a minute.
Hey, hello! Can you please give me my stuff, sir?
fuck? What the fuck? I hope really not dead, fuck. We gonna get charged with murder, fuck.
As Officer James returns with a female officer to do a thorough search of Kanaya, it's clear that the weight of the situation still hasn't fully set in for her.
Come on out for a moment.
You're gonna stand right here and I'm gonna search you.
Come on out. You're gonna get a pat down.
Can I ask you something real fast?
You're gonna stay right
Sure.
here.
All right, can I ask you something, Mr. James? Can you grab my phone, man?
If we can find your phone.
It's right there in that Gucci purse. You just had it in your hand. You just looking at
Your
it.
friend is unconscious. I don't think your phone's your concern. Relax for a minute.
No, my phone is my concern because I had to call my family. And that's not my friend. They came to get me and she gonna tell me come stealing with some fucking people. Bitch, I don't really do nothing to that.
Okay.
Can you please grab my phone and my Gucci purse?
We will look.
We will try and
It's
do our
right
best
there.
to
I
get
just
it
seen
for
you pick it up.
At the other end, officers are doing their best to save Brittany's life. Despite the gravity of the situation, Jiraiya continues to test the officer's patience, throwing more tantrums in the mix.
What's the problem, sir?
Okay.
What happened? I don't understand what is the problem. We didn't even do anything.
Okay, you're gonna find out.
What the fuck?
Let's search her and get her in the car.
Can you tell me what I did, sir? I didn't do anything,
Haley,
though.
can
I
you help
didn't
me
even go in the
search?
store. I don't have nothing. Nothing.
Phone and money in here.
We don't got nothing. Okay, we still have to check. Doesn't matter.
All of us, we're all good?
Yeah.
Y'all did that to my car.
She's the worst. She needs an ambulance.
she needs an
ASAP.
ambulance.
How many patients? I don't know.
Probably
Well, we have a lot of...
my fucking mouth.
She needs to go now.
And I'm pregnant. We don't have nothing. Okay, I heard you. So why do y'all grabbing us for? We have to check you anyways. What the fuck?
Hold on. Sit still. Hey, bring that monitor. Let me see that monitor. Yeah, she's got a good pulse. She's just unresponsive.
This was the confirmation the officers were desperate to hear, but with time slipping away, every second matters. But Jiraiya still isn't done, pulling at the very last thread of patience officers have.
What happened?
What do you mean?
I'm saying, what the fuck is going on?
Your BP. What do you mean? You guys crashed?
I know. She was driving and she crashed the car, but I'm saying, what happened? What happened?
You guys fled from Malta.
For what?
Trying to say she was driving?
For who?
Did you just try to say she was driving?
Just stay seated.
Wait, did I say she was driving?
Yeah.
No, the other girl was driving. I was just no.
You were in the driver's seat. We got it.
Don't entertain. Sit down.
I was never in the driver's seat, sir.
Sit down.
I never got in the driver's seat. I was in the back of the seat.
Stop. Stay seated.
I'm telling you the truth. I was in the back of the
Okay,
passenger
just stay.
seat. I don't have my ID on me.
Is this your purse?
Yes, that's my purse right there.
No ID behind your
Let's
phone.
take it to Terrell.
With no ID, the officers must take the name Jiraiya gives them for now. But soon, officers will encounter an entirely unforeseen scenario with the identities of the suspects. As they start to escort Jiraiya away from the car, Officer Loss gives her one last thing to think about.
Get her away from the car. Get her at least by the back of the car.
I know my finger is.
Okay, your friend's almost dead. Your friend is almost dead right now. Okay? Let's go.
Meanwhile, the paramedics arrive and begin to load up Brittany into the back of the ambulance. Jiraiya, who calls herself Vatasia, now sees the full devastation of the situation. But if the officers think that she will be more cooperative, they are sorely mistaken.
What was your name?
She wants to know how.
What's your name? Hey, what's your name? What's your name?
What happened?
What's your name?
Is my friend okay?
She's gonna be. The paramedics are taking care of her. What was your name? What's your name?
Let's take to Terrell.
What was your first name?
Let's take to Terrell. She crashed the fucking car. Is she okay? Is she okay?
No.
It doesn't look like she's okay. She wasn't driving.
Yes, she was. Brittany was driving.
After both remaining suspects are checked by the EMTs, they're transported to a hospital for a thorough checkup. Once Jiraiya and Kanaya are discharged, they're scheduled to be brought to the Vernon Hills Police Department to complete the booking process. As Kanaya is being driven to the station, she hesitates to provide her fingerprints. Noticing her unease, Officer Fink quickly picks up on her intentions.
I have done this for 25 years. 25 years. Okay? You are not the first person to lie to me. You are not going to be the last person to lie to me. You are not even the best person that's lied to me. So...
The officers bring them in one at a time, perform another pat-down, and then begin going through their belongings found at the scene. Jariah seems to accept her situation and complies with officers, while Kanaya seems far less cooperative, turning what should have been a routine procedure into a drawn-out ordeal.
Why I'm standing like though?
Hey, Jerry, come on over here. We're going to do a fingerprint inquiry real fast.
The fingerprint scan will expose who Kanaya really is, and she's doing everything she can to keep it hidden.
And we're not.
Sure, come on.
We gonna be here all night, and I ain't doing no prints for some of y'all. Can't even tell me what the fuck going on. I've been asking you for 2-3 hours. Why am I here? I woke up, I was Xanax, all these guns out on me. So what's going on? Before you think you gonna quit?
Because you know what you did. The videotape shows what you did. You know what happened today, so don't disrespect us like that, okay?
Let's start this, and then we can get you changed.
No, Mr. Fink, you don't understand that y'all gonna have me in here on the floor before I get that bed in that bathroom with no prints. Because I still don't know what video you watching and what you talking about.
It's a fingerprint inquiry right now because we don't have positive identification on you. You don't have an ID on you. Couldn't find a photo of an ID. So we have to take your fingerprints in order to ID who you are.
As the situation continues to escalate, officers struggle to maintain order.
We explained to you what you're being held here for, right?
Hold me then for it. Hold me for it. That's fine, but I'm not fingerprint for that. No.
You're not getting fingerprinted for charges.
I'm not fingerprinting for me people that I'm supposed to meet. I'm not doing it.
It's not that you don't.
You cannot convince me, ma'am. Don't waste your breath.
Okay.
Okay.
Then you're gonna sit here for a while, and eventually they're gonna force you to do it.
Ain't nobody gonna put their hands on me.
Well, it's a fingerprint inquiry. You've got to be fingerprinted.
I'm not doing that. Y'all might as well fight me now. It won't happen then. It won't happen now.
We're not interested in fighting with you.
So what you mean? What they gonna make me? You can't physically make me do shit that I'm not physically doing with my people.
Look, I'm not interested in fighting with you tonight. I'm not interested.
So what room I'm going in? Because I ain't fingerprinting tonight. So what's up?
Okay, we can try it again in the morning when you're going to go back into room number 4 then.
Ready when y'all are.
Eventually, officers aren't able to run a match on Kanaya either, and both suspects remain at the station for the night. The next morning, Officer Fink uncovers Kanaya's secret, which was all of her past criminal records, and confronts her immediately.
What's up?
Hey, Mr. Fink.
Hey, remember when I told you lied about your name? I was right.
You was right.
I have done this for 25 years. 25. You are not going to be the last person to lie to me. 25 years. Long time. Faces change, but behavior always stays the same.
You say you're born in Illinois?
Yeah, it's not funny. It's not funny right now.
Alright, we'll get this
Listen, you tried to play the game and you lost, so you just gotta accept it. Okay?
What game?
What's that?
Like what game?
The game of coming out here and trying to steal, dude. You can't do that. You know that. This ain't your first rodeo, so...
That's not valid. Look at my fucking background. I ain't done this shit in a long ass time. I ain't doing
You
this
just
shit.
got arrested in February for retail theft.
No, the I did it.
Yes, you did. It's on your criminal history in
No, I
Chicago.
didn't. No, I didn't. We got investigated, and when the case was supposed to be over, I didn't do shit.
You got handcuffed, or you got fingerprinted for it.
Yes, I did.
Okay, that's arrested.
But when they brought it up, and they brought up the cameras like y'all did, I didn't do shit. So fuck off with that one. Seriously.
With both Jariah and Kanaya officially identified, the case is coming to an end. However, back at the hospital, Brittany is still fighting for her life, and officers haven't been able to identify her yet. Again, they turn to Kanaya and Jariah for some answers.
Jariah, your friend that's at the hospital, they're trying to get a hold of her family. They haven't been able to notify anybody yet. Do you know what her name is and how to get a hold of her family?
No, her name is Brittany.
Do you know what her last name is? Do you know anybody that would know how to get a hold of somebody in her family? Okay, do you have any phone numbers in your purse where we can get a hold of her family? They need to know and go up there and be with her.
They do. I wish I could be with. It's sad, man. I swear to God, I don't know if I
Who would know who she is? Who would know how to get a hold of her mom, her dad, her grandma?
Another room right here, bro. That's all.
Yeah, I went and I talked to her and we can't find her phone.
But officers don't have to wait long. Brittany Christmas survives her injuries and speaks with them. Jariah, Kanaya, and Brittany stole over $12,000 of merchandise, but most of it was successfully recovered. Jariah Terrell, the driver, faced 11 charges, but 8 were dropped in a plea deal. She was convicted of retail theft, aggravated fleeing, and driving under the influence. She was sentenced to 180 days in jail with 120 days credited. Both Kanaya Williams and Brittany Christmas faced 4 charges each, with 3 dropped through plea deals. They were each convicted of retail theft. Kanaya was sentenced to 128 days in jail with 64 days credited, followed by 18 months probation. Brittany received 18 months probation under strict conditions.
To hear his sentence. Outside the courthouse, Ildiko's family gathered. Her cousin Eva, who had cleaned the wreckage of the house after the FBI raids, spoke to the cameras. She will live forever in our hearts, Eva said. She was sunshine. Valerie Stone was not there. She had moved away, left California, left the memories of the beach house and the bugged necklace. She was trying to rebuild a life that hadn't been scripted by a sociopath. She had lost 70 pounds. She was learning to trust her own judgment again. In the end, Stephen Beale had wanted to create something lasting. But as he was led away in chains, the truth was evident. He was just a small man with a 9-volt battery and a heart full of soot. The world moved on. The Real Housewives kept filming down the road. The traffic on the Fartasim freeway kept flowing, but in the quiet moments, when the wind blew off the ocean, the people of Aliso Viejo could still smell the faint, acrid scent of betrayal. The Aliso Protocol, Prologue. A Tear in the Blue, May 15, 2018, Aliso Viejo, California. The sky over Orange County was a chemically perfect azure, the kind of cloudless expanse that real estate agents promised was standard for the leafy green wedge of Aliso Viejo. It was a town where the rhythm of life was dictated by the silent hum of electric gates and the scheduled sprinklers of manicured lawns. And they liked it that way. Batatena miden pende, PM. Holly Salcedo was on her lunch break, a mile away from the commercial district, when the air itself seemed to buckle. It wasn't just a sound, it was a concussion. I heard it, she would later say, noting how the anomaly. That's weird, she thought, looking out the window, unaware that the shockwave had already signaled the end of her life. On Mareblu Street, the Magyar Cosmetica Day spa sanctuary of facials and soft music had been turned inside out. The facade of the 2-story building was shattered, debris strewn across the asphalt like the aftermath of a tornado. A plume of white smoke, thick with a sulphurous stench of fireworks, twisted into the sky. Within minutes, the wail of sirens cut through the shock. An Orange County Sheriff's deputy, his dashcam recording the chaos, stepped out into a scene that smelled of war. "Everybody get back! Everybody get back!" he shouted, his voice tight with adrenaline. The radio crackled with a grim assessment from a first responder stumbling through the dust. "I've got body parts." Loss of life was a guarantee. Inside the wreckage, beneath the crumbled ceiling, lay the remains of Ildiko Krajniak. Just moments before, she had been a vibrant woman, a mother and a lover to many. A client had watched her open a cardboard box, a simple package that should have contained beauty supplies. Instead, it contained a white flash, followed by an eternal darkness. Chapter Ena. The man in the wings, Stephen Beale, sat in his home, 32 miles north of the smoking crater on Mareblu Street. To the outside world, he was a 20-year-old retiree, an executive consultant on disability, and an aspiring actor who filled his days with auditions and hobbies. But Stephen's house was less a home and more a workshop of curiosities. He was a man of specific, intense interests. He built high-powered model rockets, some 25 feet tall, obsessed with the chemistry of propulsion. His garage was a library of potential energy oxidizers, fuels, and chemicals capable of reaching the stars or leveling a room. His phone buzzed. It was Valerie Stone, his current girlfriend. She had heard the news. There was an explosion. She had heard the news. It was an explosion. Stephen texted back, feigning a panic that felt rehearsed. Ildiko, are you okay? He typed to his dead business partner, knowing she would never read it. He called her number, listening to the ringtone echo into the void. He contacted the authorities himself, calling the tip line to offer his help. I cannot come up with a single thought for who would ever want to hurt her, he told investigators later, his voice steady. But, as he sat there, playing the role of the concerned partner, the investigators were already moving. Deputy Jack Ackerman and his team arrived at Stephen's door, initially concerned he might be a target of a serial bomber. They also found packages at his door. Stephen consented to a search. He even performed a magic trick for the detectives, pulling a coin from behind an ear in the middle of a murder investigation. You're kidding me, Ackerman thought, watching the sleight of hand. It was bizarre. It was a performance. And Stephen Beale was determined to be the star. Chapter 2. The Geometry of Desire. Ildiko Krajniak had lived a life of complex geometry. She was a woman who just wanted to be loved, and she sought that validation in a string of lovers that her friends described as a revolving door. There was her husband, Renilo Vastil. They lived together in a silent, broken arrangement, raising their son while leading separate lives. Renilo knew about the other men. There was the San Francisco guy, Laszlo Szabo, whom she had just vacationed with in Hungary. There was the handyman, Max, who slept in his car in the spa parking lot. And then there was Stephen. They had met on a dating app invented 2000 albuquerque. For a while, it was beautiful. They traveled, they built the spa business together. Stephen wrote her poetry, recording his voice in hushed, reverent tones. I love how, when I dream of my life partner, the only person that I can see is you. But the romance had soured. Ildiko had pulled away. She wanted to date others. Stephen, the man who prided himself on logic, found himself humiliated. He told investigators they had remained friends, that the relationship ended with a whimper, quoting Carole King lyrics to the police. But the digital ghosts in his phone told a different story. He was obsessed. He checked her schedule constantly. He had gone through her phone, taking photos of her texts with Laszlo, translating the Hungarian messages where she made plans to go dancing with another man. He wasn't a supportive ex. He was a man cataloging his own obsolescence. Ildiko's cheating on him, the prosecution would later argue. Chapter 3. The Chemistry of Evidence. The investigation was a slow burn, a sifting through ashes. The FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force, led by Agent Nick Vicencia, knew that bombs tell stories. This device was sophisticated. It wasn't a pipe bomb made by an amateur. It was a flash powder bomb, initiated by a complex electrical fusing system. The bomb itself tells you that you're looking for someone who has some specific specialized skills, an expert noted. Sifting through the debris of the spa, technicians found the smoking gun, the mangled jacket of a 9-volt battery. It was a CVS brand battery, its cells lodged in the ceiling from the force of the blast. Investigators turned their gaze to Stephen's financials. They found a receipt. A week before the bombing, Stephen Beale had walked into a CVS. The CCTV footage showed him clearly. He wasn't buying medicine. He was buying a single, CVS brand, 9-volt battery. He paid in cash. They also found a purchase for a cardboard box, 12 by 6 by 6 inches, matching the description of the box Ildiko opened. Stephen had the means. The chemicals in his garage matched the residue found at the crime scene. He had the skill. A video surfaced of Stephen teaching the camera how to mix explosive chemicals safely, boasting about his expertise. This is extremely gentle, he said in the recording, like a chef demonstrating a soufflé. He had the motive, a jealous rage, masked by a calm exterior. Yet, the first arrest didn't stick. Valerie Stone, his devoted girlfriend, picked him up from jail. She believed him. He's not a murderer, she told herself. Chapter Tessera, the sting. The FBI was not done. They needed a confession. They turned to Valerie. They needed a confession. They turned to Valerie. In a move straight out of a spy novel, agents approached Valerie and asked her to become a cooperating witness. They showed her the gruesome photos of the crime scene to shake her loyalty. "We need you to get him to admit it," they urged. Valerie agreed. She wanted the truth, even if it destroyed her life. The FBI set the stage. A romantic getaway to a ranch in Malibu. They paid for the hotel, but the price was privacy. The room was bugged with cameras and microphones. Valerie's car was bugged. Even her jewelry was compromised. She wore a necklace containing a hidden listening device. "Oh, look what I found," she lied to Stephen as she put on the necklace. "I thought I lost it." For a weekend, she played the actress. She prodded him. She brought up Ildiko. She tried to spark anger or remorse. "Do you think they'll catch who did it?" she asked, her heart racing. Stephen remained impenetrable. He was calm, cool, collected. He never confessed. He never slept. To the frustration of the agents listening in the van nearby, the operation was a bust. Stephen Beale was either innocent or he was the greatest actor of his generation. Chapter Pende. The final act. Justice, when it came, was not swift. It was a grinding war of attrition. Stephen was arrested again in March 2019, this time charged with malicious destruction of a building resulting in death, a federal crime carrying a life sentence. The first trial in 2022 ended in a mistrial. The jury deadlocked, with 4 members unconvinced by the circumstantial evidence. "Probability is not good enough," one juror insisted. Stephen remained in limbo, a man caught between freedom and oblivion. But the prosecution retooled. In the second trial, in 2023, they stripped away the distractions. They focused on the obsession. They played the tapes of his love poems. They showed the video of the mannequin being disintegrated by the bomb recreation. There was just simply no one who had that amount of overwhelming evidence against them, the prosecutor argued. This time, the defense's strategy backfired. They called Valerie Stone to the stand to prove Stephen had moved on. The jury learned that while Stephen was wooing Valerie, he was still sending Ildiko desperate texts of undying love. The jury deliberated. The verdict came back in less than 2 hours. Guilty. Stephen Beale, the Rocket Man, the magician, the failed actor, stood silent. In January 2024, at the age of 64, he was sentenced to life in prison. Outside the courthouse, Ildiko's cousin Eva spoke through tears. "She will live forever in our hearts," she said. Ildiko had been a source of light, a woman who made people feel like they were flying. Stephen Beale had tried to extinguish that light with chemistry and jealousy. He had turned his love into a weapon. But in the end, all he achieved was a permanent audience of concrete walls and silence. Valerie Stone, finally free of the illusion, moved out of state and started over. The Real Housewives down the road continued their trivial dramas, unaware of the true tragedy that had played out in their midst. And on Mareblue Street, the scars on the pavement faded, but the memory of the blast remained a testament to the lethal volatility of a possessive heart. Chapter: The Glass Menagerie of Malibu. The black Suburban was waiting for her at work, an incongruous shark swimming in a sea of commuter sedans. It was sleek, tinted, and radiated a quiet, federal authority. Valerie Stone slowed her steps as she approached it. She had been expecting Stephen to pick her up, perhaps for lunch, or maybe just a mundane text about groceries. Instead, she got the government. A window rolled down. A man in a suit, face carved from granite and exhaustion, nodded at her. "Miss Stone, we need to talk, please. Get in." Valerie climbed into the back seat. They drove her to a park, a neutral ground, where the birdsong felt forced and the sunlight too bright for the conversation that was about to happen. Leave your electronics in the car, the lead agent said. They walked her to a Benz. The agent, Nick Vicencia, held a file folder like a weapon. He didn't yell. He didn't threaten. He simply opened the folder and laid the horror of the world onto the picnic table. Look, he said. They were photos of the spa. Not the news footage she had seen on TV. The sanitized wide shots of smoke and rubble. These were the forensic realities of an explosion. The shattered drywall, the twisted metal, and the void where a woman used to be. This is what happened to Ildiko, Vicencia said. His voice was soft, devoid of judgment, which made it worse. And we know Stephen did it. We know about the box. We know about the battery. Valerie stared at the images. Her mind tried to reject them, to overlay the image of Stephen, her Stephen, who made her coffee and wrote bad poetry over this carnage. But the pictures were stubborn. Carna zero, amone, inana zero. They demanded to be seen. We need your help, Valerie, the other agent, Ashley Maracle, said. We need you to get him to admit it. You want me to be a spy? Valerie asked. The word tasting like ash. We want you to be a cooperating witness. Vicencia corrected. We're planning a trip. A weekend away. Just the two of you. Romantic. Malibu. Valerie felt a laugh bubble up in her throat, hysterical and sharp. We'll pay for the hotel, Vicencia said. But you have to sign some papers. We need consent to place listening devices in the room. In your car. On you. Valerie looked at the agents, then back at the photos. She thought of Ildiko, a woman she had never met, but whose ghost now haunted her relationship. She thought of the cute little bunny Ildiko was described as, if Stephen had done this, if the man she slept beside was capable of vaporizing a human being. Okay, Valerie whispered. I want you to catch the person who did this, even if it's Stephen. Oh, 5-5. Oh, the preparation was surgical. The FBI didn't just book a room, they staged a theater. Valerie stood in front of the mirror in a hotel room that cost more per night than she made in a week. She held up a necklace. It was a delicate thing, a pendant that caught the light. Oh, look what I found, she said, pitching her voice to a register of surprised delight. Stephen was unpacking his bag. He didn't know. He didn't know that inside the pendant was a microphone, transmitting his voice to a van parked discreetly down the road. He didn't know that the lamp next to the bed was bugged. He didn't know that the walls had ears. There's not just two people in the room, Valerie thought, a cold sweat pricking her skin. There's 25, and 23 of them are watching. The weekend was designed to be an idyll. It was supposed to be the setting where defenses lowered, where secrets spilled out over a second glass of wine. They walked through the vineyards, the Pacific Ocean, a shimmering backdrop. The air smelled of sage and dust. Ask him, the agents had coached her. Stephen, Valerie started, her voice trembling slightly. She cleared her throat. It's so beautiful here. It makes you realize how fragile everything is. Stephen nodded, looking at the vines. Nature is resilient, Val. It finds a way. Sechen, nature, tuofi, like the spa. She pivoted, clumsy but determined. It's just so awful. Do you think the police are any closer? Do you worry about it? Stephen stopped. He turned to her. The wind ruffled his gray hair. For a second, Valerie expected the mask to slip. She expected the flash of rage, the venom the prosecutors talked about. She expected him to grab her shoulders and hiss. Instead, he sighed. A long, weary, philosophical sigh. I hope they find peace, Val, he said. Dwelling on the tragedy, it eats you up. We have to move forward. We have to live our lives. He was so calm, so maddeningly, terrifyingly calm. He was either the most innocent man in California, or he was a monster who had excised his own conscience with a scalpel. Valerie touched the pendant at her throat. Are you getting this? She screamed internally. Is this enough? It wasn't. They went to dinner. They drank wine. They slept in the bugged bed. It was a nightmare, she would later say. Extremely stressful. The FBI agents in the van adjusted their headphones, frustration mounting. They wanted a confession. They wanted a breakdown. What they got was a performance of perfect normalcy. Stephen Beale was uncrackable. He didn't take the bait. He didn't get angry. He was the cool, calm, and collected center of his own universe. By Sunday, Valerie was exhausted, and she had nothing to show for it but a free hotel stay and a sense of profound betrayal, not of Stephen, but of herself. I tried very hard, she whispered to the empty bathroom, touching the cold metal of the necklace. But as they drove home, Stephen reached over and patted her hand. That was nice, wasn't it? He said. We should do this more often. Leave the world behind. Valerie looked out the window as the coastline blurred. She knew then that the performance wasn't over. It was just beginning, and she was trapped on stage with a man who might just be the greatest actor she had ever known. The Aliso Protocol, based on the true events of the Aliso Viejo bombing. Prologue. The architecture of silence. Aliso Viejo is a lie, but it is a comfortable one. It is a leafy green wedge of the suburban sprawl that constitutes Southern California's mythic Orange County. It is a place designed for people who have made it, or at least, people who want to look like they have. The streets are wide and curved, discouraging speed. The stucco on the houses is painted in varying shades of beige and sandstone, colors chosen by a committee to mimic the desert earth that was scraped away to build them. Here, the real housewives live their best lives just down the road. It is a place where the air smells of jasmine and exhaust, where the loudest sound is usually the landscaping crew's leaf blower on a Tuesday morning. Not a lot happens in Aliso Viejo, and around here, the residents like it that way. But silence is not peace. On May 15, 2018, the silence was not broken. It was obliterated. At 10 p.m., the sun was high and indifferent. Inside the two-story commercial building on Mare Blue, a street named after a sea no one here could see, life was mundane. Clients were getting eyelashes extended. Teeth were being cleaned. Insurance policies were being signed. In Suite 105, the air smelled of lavender and aceton. Ildiko Krajniak, a woman who carried the old world in her accent and the new world in her ambition, stood over a cardboard box. She was tired. Her life was a series of compartments: mother, wife, lover, business owner, and the walls between them were becoming paper thin. She looked at the box on the counter. It was a standard brown cardboard package, innocuous, boring. It looked like a delivery of supplies. Waxes, perhaps, or new creams. And new creams. Τελειφαράσουν τελειμό. The woman standing near her, a client and friend, watched idly. Ildiko reached for the flaps. There was no ticking sound, no dramatic hum, just the sound of tape tearing, a sound like dry skin peeling away. Chemistry is a precise and unforgiving God. It does not care about your love life. It does not care about your regrets. It only cares about reactants and catalysts. When Ildiko pulled the flap, she completed a circuit, a 9-volt battery, purchased from a CVS down the street, sent a jolt of electricity into a homemade igniter. The flash powder didn't burn. It detonated. The shock wave moved faster than the speed of sound. Before Ildiko's brain could register the flash of light, her existence was unmade. The ceiling tiles vaporized. The walls buckled. The glass front of the building blew outward into the parking lot, showering the asphalt with diamonds of safety glass. A mile away, Holly Salcedo was eating lunch when the boom rattled her windows. It wasn't a car backfiring. It was a sound deep in the gut, a sound of geological finality. That's weird, she whispered to an empty room. On Mare Blue, the silence returned, but now it was the ringing silence of deafness, followed immediately by the screams. Chapter Ena, the Magyar Rose. 3 days earlier, Ildiko Krajniak was a woman who collected people. She was 48, but she possessed an energy that defied the calendar. She was the kind of woman who, when she touched your arm and laughed, made you feel as if you were the only person in the universe. She was a beautician, an aesthetician, but really, she was a confessor. To Holly Salcedo, she was a lifeline. Holly sat in the chair, her eyes closed, feeling Ildiko's cool, skilled hands applying a mask. You are tense. Dragam, Ildiko said, her Hungarian accent thickening the vowels. You worry too much. It's just life, Ildiko, Holly murmured. How was the trip home? To Budapest? Ildiko paused. Her hands hovered over Holly's face. It was necessary. I needed to breathe. The air here, in California, sometimes it is too thin. Too many eyes. Holly opened one eye. Is everything okay with Nilo? Ronilo Vastil, Ildiko's husband of 22 years. A good man, a quiet man. He took care of Ildiko's mother. He raised their college-aged son, Keanu. But the marriage had been a cold ember for a long time. They lived together, ate together, but they did not sleep together. Nilo is Nilo, Ildiko said, resuming the massage. He is safe. But a woman cannot live on safety alone, Holly. We need fire. Tenerider, tenerider. Amazaso, Holly knew about the fire. Everyone close to Ildiko knew, though they pretended not to. Ildiko had a voracious appetite for adoration. There were men, always men, a revolving door of suitors who brought her flowers, took her to dinners, and made her feel wanted. There was Laszlo, the man she'd been with in Hungary. There was Scott, the new one, the one with the grey hair she'd met at a casino. There was the doctor. And then there was Stephen. Has he been bothering you? Holly asked quietly. Ildiko sighed, a sharp exhalation through her nose. Stephen? No. He is. He is around. We are partners in the business. He signed the lease. What can I do? Stephen Beale, the retired executive, the actor, the man with the sad eyes and the desperate need to be useful. He was the one who helped build the spa, who managed the finances when the numbers got too complicated. They had dated, a whirlwind romance of travel and exclusivity, until Ildiko felt the cage closing in. She had pulled away. She had started seeing others. Stephen had stayed. He accepted the demotion from lover to business partner, from soulmate to roommate, with a terrifying kind of grace. He still loves you, Holly warned. He loves the idea of me, Ildiko corrected. Ildiko finished the treatment and wiped her hands on a towel. She looked in the mirror, inspecting her own reflection. Blonde hair, bright eyes, a smile that could hide 1,000 secrets. She checked her phone. A text from Stephen. Welcome home. I'll stop by the spa later to check the receipts. Another text from Laszlo. Miss you already. Another from Scott. Dinner tonight? From Scott. Dinner tonight? From Scott. Dinner tonight? She felt a thrill, a chaotic surge of dopamine. I have to go, Ildiko said, untying her apron. She didn't know that the rent was already paid. Chapter Dio, the Rocket Man. Stephen Beale lived in a world of his own curation. There were headshots from his acting career roles where he played doctors, grandfathers, men of authority. There were scripts for movies he hadn't written yet. And there was the garage. The garage was his sanctuary. It smelled of oxidizers and sulfur. Stephen was 60 years old, a widower. His first wife had died mysteriously, a suicide, or an accident, or something in between. He had raised his children alone. He was a man who felt things deeply, perhaps too deeply. When he loved, he submerged himself. When he lost, he drowned. He stood at his workbench, looking at a PVC pipe. He had been a hobbyist for years. High-powered rocketry. It was a noble pursuit, he told himself. The mastery of physics. The control of fire. He picked up a container of aluminum powder. It was fine, silvery dust, dangerous if mishandled, beautiful if respected. He thought of Ildiko. He remembered the day they met. He had recorded them, his voice trembling with emotion, sending them to her so she could fall asleep to his love. I love how. But then, the change. The password to her phone changed. The whispered phone calls. The lies. He knew she was seeing other men. He wasn't stupid. He was observant. He had seen the text messages in Hungarian. He had taken photos of them with his own phone, intending to translate them later, to prove to himself the depth of her betrayal. She thought she was clever. She thought he was just the old man who paid the bills, the business partner she could keep on a shelf. Stephen poured a precise amount of chemical onto a scale. He wasn't angry. That was the thing people wouldn't understand. He wasn't in a rage. Rage was hot and messy. This was cold. This was clarity. She had humiliated him. Not just privately, but existentially. She had taken his devotion and turned it into a currency to fund her affairs with other men. He walked to the kitchen and opened a drawer. He pulled out a CVS receipt, a 9-volt battery, a roll of duct tape. He checked his calendar. May the 10th. She would be at the spa. She would be opening the mail. She loved opening packages. It was like Christmas to her. Stephen sat down at his computer. He opened a search engine. His fingers hovered over the keys. Do narcissists beat polygraphs? He smiled. Chapter 3, Ground Zero. May 15, 2018, 1:15 p.m. Orange County Sheriff's Deputy Jack Ackerman was the first to arrive. The call had come in as a structure fire, but the moment he stepped out of his cruiser, he knew that was a euphemism. The smell hit him first. It wasn't the smell of burning wood or melting plastic, which was typical for a house fire. It was the sharp, metallic tang of sulfur. Fireworks. Gunpowder. Everybody get back, he shouted, his hand resting on his holster. Everybody back. The scene was chaos. The parking lot was covered in debris, drywall, insulation, glass, and other things. Ackerman saw a piece of what looked like human tissue on the hood of a white Lexus. He swallowed, the bile rising in his throat. Is anybody hurt? He yelled to a dazed woman sitting on the curb, ash covering her hair. Inside, she pointed. Ildiko. She's inside. Ackerman moved toward the gaping maw of the building. The bottom floor, suite 105, was gutted. The ceiling had collapsed. Wires hung like jungle vines. He stepped over a pile of rubble. He saw the crater. It wasn't in the ground. It was on the countertop. The granite was shattered. 2-way 3. Ackerman keyed his radio. I've got body parts. Loss of life is a guarantee. He backed out. This wasn't a gas leak. Gas leaks blow walls out. They don't shred bodies into confetti. This was high explosives. In his mind, Ackerman flashed back to March, Texas. The serial bomber who had been sending packages to people's porches. Was this a copycat? Was this terrorism? Aliso Viejo was a soft target, a day spa. It made no sense, unless it was personal. By 2:00 p.m., the bomb squad was there. Agent Nick Vicencia, tall and sharp-suited, took command of the perimeter. Who is the victim? Owner of the spa, Ackerman said. Ildiko Krajniak. We have 2 survivors, critical, transported to the hospital. They said she opened a box. A mail bomb, Vicencia said, his eyes narrowing. Postal service? Unknown. Witnesses say it looked like a regular package. Vicencia looked at the crowd gathering behind the yellow tape. We need to find the family, the husband, the boyfriend, anyone who knew her. We got a call. A deputy approached them. Guy named Stephen Beale. Says he's her business partner. He called the non-emergency line. Said he heard there was an explosion and he's worried. Where is he? At his house. In Long Beach. Go, Vicencia said. Now. Or he's the one who sent it. Ackerman finished the thought. Chapter 10. The visit. The drive to Long Beach took 30 minutes. Ackerman and a team of FBI agents pulled up to Stephen Beale's house. It was a modest, two-story home. The front door opened before they could knock. Stephen Beale stood there. He was wearing shorts and a t-shirt. He looked calm. Too calm? Or just in shock? Mr. Beale? Ackerman asked. Yes. Is she? Have you heard? We are here to make sure you're safe, sir, Ackerman said, stepping onto the porch. We understand you're her business partner. There was a device. Stephen's eyes widened. A bomb? We believe so. Are there any packages here that you aren't expecting? Alate, sushinasi na hatre, kanatona, alate kanasi, alalate nafe, alate la. Stephen pointed inside. Just. I got some deliveries today. For the house. Remodeling. Ackerman looked past him. In the hallway, there was a stack of 3 cardboard boxes. Step out of the house, please, sir. They evacuated him to the patrol car. The bomb squad went in. They X-rayed the boxes. Benign. Just. Remodeling supplies. Ackerman sat in the car with Stephen. The air conditioning was blasting. Stephen. Who would want to hurt Ildiko? Stephen shook his head, looking out the window at his neighbor's manicured lawns. I don't know. She was loved. Everybody loved her. She was an angel. Any enemies? Jealous ex-boyfriends? Stephen paused. She dated. A lot. There were 5 or 6. Ackerman raised an eyebrow. She liked attention, Stephen said, his voice dropping to a mournful register. And her husband, Nilo. I assume he knew. What about you, Stephen? We, were together, exclusive, for a while. Then we became partners, best friends. I loved her. Did you love her, or were you in love with her? Stephen looked Ackerman in the eye. Does it matter now? She's gone. Ackerman nodded. We need to search the house, Stephen. Just to rule you out. Standard procedure. Just to rule you, of course, Stephen said. I have nothing to hide. But, just so you know, I do have some hobbies. Hobbies? Rocketry? Stephen said. And some pyrotechnics. I used to make fireworks. For the kids. A long time ago, Ackerman felt some chemicals in the garage. But I haven't touched them in years. Ackerman stepped out of the car and walked over to Agent Vicencia. He admits to having explosive precursors in the garage, Ackerman whispered. He's a rocket hobbyist. Vicencia looked at Stephen Beale, sitting quietly in the back of the cruiser, watching the world go by. Get a warrant, Vicencia said. Tear that house apart. Chapter Pende. The red herring. The jealous wife. While the bomb squad descended on Bill's garage, Agent Ashley Maracle was assigned to the other men. The list was dizzying. First, the husband. He was found at the scene, frantic, trying to cross the police line. He wasn't angry about the affairs. He seemed resigned to them. He spoke of Ildiko with reverence. He handed over his phone immediately. I just want to know if she suffered. Ronnie Lowe wept. They put a surveillance team on him anyway. just in case. Then, there were the Paps, Elizabeth and Gabor. Elizabeth Pap was a woman scorned, and she didn't care who knew it. When the FBI knocked on her door, she didn't look surprised. I didn't kill her, Elizabeth said, standing in her doorway, arms crossed. You sent her threatening messages, Agent Maracle noted, holding a printout. Photos. You told her to stay away from your husband. She was sleeping with Gabor, Elizabeth shouted. In her spa, I caught them. She destroyed my family. She taunted me. Where were you today at 10 p.m.? At work. Check my beds, swipe. And your husband? With me. We're trying to fix things. Unlike her, I fight for my marriage. They searched the Pap's house.